You are so toxic because I'm going to have PTSD from murdering you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Screenshots, the Drinking Game Movie Podcast. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Is it another stupid horror movie? Another, what's it called? A murder mystery. It's got a tomato meter 88%, an audience score of 72%, and it's all right. My name is Mark Tribino.
Well, I don't spoil our thoughts on the movie.
This is Johnny Cruz and Danny Barker.
Listen, the most interesting thing about this movie isn't the movie we saw. It's what happened in the movie theater while we were watching the
Oh,
movie.
man.
So, like, we walk in, and all the sound's fine, right? But every time somebody talks, especially in the trailers, we were like, oh, God, oh, this isn't good. And then the movie starts, and everybody starts talking like, oh, my God, this is over. Like, it sounds like their voices are on a radio, so the sound system was broken. But I didn't mind it because I was like, all right, I'm going to get used to this in 4 seconds, whatever, which I did. Then everybody in front of us just bounced and abandoned the movie.
Yeah, like 5 seconds in.
Yeah, so we were just all, it was just the three of it. It was just us. So we kind of were talking shit about the movie.
Yeah.
And then the movie, it's like 10 minutes to being done, right? And this guy walks in, and he walks in on the right side of the theater. We're directly in the middle in the fourth row. And then he waddles his way like down a couple rows. It takes him like 10 minutes. And then he stops, and I'm looking at him, and I'm kind of getting freaked out because he's just doing, like, standing there almost. Like, he's barely moving. And then I realize how he's just waddling through he starts waddling through the fifth row, which is behind us. He starts waddling behind us, and we're all looking at him, and he's looking at us, just not saying a word. And we're like, is this guy what's this guy
gonna murder
doing?
us?
Like, yeah, we're watching a murder mystery. Tensions are a little high. And then he walks to the end, and we're like, all right, he's going to sit all the way to the left. And then he walks down the aisle, and then turns right into the row in front of us and sits down right in front of me.
Directly in front of Johnny. Directly.
It was crazy. I wanted to say something to the guy, and Danny was like, bro.
It was so creepy, man.
Anyway, that was freaky.
Yeah,
that guy
he walked
up
so
to something.
slow.
He was sketching me out.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
Danny and I even pushed our seats up, get ready to pounce on
Yeah,
it.
you guys were getting ready.
I was getting ready. If he pulled a gun out, I was gonna deflect it and have it hit Johnny.
Yeah, he was gonna do
me.
it. He was gonna pull a Wonder Woman.
And if he shot at us, I was gonna throw my body in front of Danny and then turn really fast so that Danny caught the bullet.
Yeah.
But Mark, what movie did we see?
We saw Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Johnny, what's it about?
Bodies,
What's it making?
3 bodies. All right.
3 bodies.
So the three bodies, every 3 body. Everybody was. So anyway, it's rated R. An hour 34 minutes. Directed by Helena Rain or whatever. When a group of rich 20-somethings plan a hurricane party at a remote family mansion, a party game turns deadly. In this fresh and funny look at backstabbing, fake friends, and one party gone very, very wrong. And I think it opened to like 8 theaters in its original like limited release, and then it last weekend expanded to like 1,200 theaters, and I think it made like 3.4 million, which isn't great. But I'm not really. I don't know how much the budget was. I would guess the budget for this is like 20 million or something like that. But despite all what happened in the movie theater, I think I liked it a little bit more than these guys. I turned Danny in the parking lot once I told him my whole philosophy on the movie. Because there's one scene. So basically, this movie is a satire, right? And I think the satire is done. That's the word he was going to get me on. The satire.
I'll wait till you're done.
No, just do it. All right. The satire is basically, without spoiling it, is you're watching all these people, like they said in the. Hold on.
What are you doing?
I just forgot what I was going to say.
You want me to pick up?
Okay, ready? So, basically, the reason I think this is a satire is because there's one point in the movie, without spoiling it, where there's like an explicit scene where all the friends start spilling the truth about how basically they all hate each other or whatever.
Yeah.
And the movie does a play on all these characters who are under a certain political ideology, almost nominally, like they haven't thought about it. They're very low thinkers, and they start questioning each other's character. And whenever somebody's character is put under pressure, they start using politically correct buzzwords to they start using politically correct buzzwords to play the victim whenever basically their piece of shit mentality is being called out. And I think that may have gone over your head at first because you guys were very verbal in saying, like this movie sucks. But I don't think the movie plays it like genuinely. I think it's doing like a nice satire on it, which I really enjoyed.
You know, Johnny makes short films.
No, I don't. I don't make any. I've never read a book. There are hundreds of words. I can't read them. I get tired. But what did you think about the movie?
Well, yeah, you're right.
Let me give you your low thinking opinion on the movie.
Damn.
No. You are right in the beginning. Because that is a good point. I wasn't really thinking about that. All I was thinking about is I don't know. I don't watch a lot of horror. I say it every single time we do a horror movie. The only time I ever watch a horror movie is for screenshots. And I like murder mysteries. I think they're really cool. But I felt like they were going to end up throwing, and I'll say in spoilers, I thought they were going to end up throwing the story one way. So I kept thinking, oh, they're going to do that. And they ended up not doing that. And the ending was even worse than I thought it was going to be, in my opinion. So, and it also took like 30 minutes for I feel like anything to get interesting. And I was already kind of like,
It's very much a hangout movie for the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was
definitely.
like not into it. And then when it started to get going, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I don't know. Whenever I see any murder mystery, though, although I really like them, I critique the character's choices a lot, and it kind of I ruin it for myself.
Yeah. No, I was thinking like, when he like changed my mind on the one thing, I was like, okay, I see what they were doing there. What?
He said, "Change my mind."
No,
That's
come
oh my
back.
gosh, that's 2 shots.
That's two
All
full
right,
shots.
all right,
That's 2 full
all
shots.
Sorry to
I'll take
interrupt
I'll
you.
take it in a
Continue
second.
your thoughts.
Yeah, no, when he changed my mind on it, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like it. But I still felt like some parts, the dialogue was just odd. And it was awkward, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And then when, like, I was like, the characters would just move on from what was going on so quickly at some times.
Right.
Like, when some things happen that we'll talk about, I was like, did they really just brush that off?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
unless that was the intention, like people just brush things off and forget things so quickly. But I was like, what? Like, I don't know. That's one of the
Like,
reasons
they
why I
claim to
was like
be-
kind of complaining about the movie after we saw it,
yeah.
or even during it. I mean, that
Well,
was
it is.
fun to
It's one
fun
of
to
those.
shit on a movie.
It's
like,
one of
what?
those movies that's like frustrating to watch. But when Mark said like, you know, it was frustrating to see the actions and decisions of some characters. In a lot of horror movies, usually those dumb decisions, the reason they're so frustrating is because those decisions don't grow out from the character. They grow out as a necessity to move the plot forward. But I think in this movie, the dumb decisions are a consequence of the dumb characters that were already set up. So I actually didn't mind that at all because it wasn't.
Yeah, they were really dumb, actually.
Yeah, because I think that was sort of the point of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, even like before any of like the heavy stuff started happening in the movie, like in the beginning when like no one was getting harmed or anything, like I even made some like in my head I was like, why would you do that? Just be a little different. Just be a little different. And I guess I'm just tired of it. What are you eating candy over there? You eating candy
I'm not
over
gonna
there?
eat the candy. I'm not gonna eat the candy. Put it away from me.
Put it away. Put it away. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
It's not
were
my thing,
talking
I
about
guess.
how the story went in a different direction than you were thinking.
Yes.
And it was clear to me there was a certain point in the story where I was like, oh, wait a minute. It needs to end this way, or else this whole thematic thing, which I'm interpreting right now, isn't going to make any sense if it doesn't end this way.
I will say one thing though.
Also, it's kind of funny too.
It's
There's this really one funny part. This isn't a spoiler because it's the beginning of the movie. 'Cause we're like, okay, this audio is all squirrely. We don't know what's going on, and we're sort of getting used to the dialogue sounding like, oh, NASA, it's Apollo 11. But then the scene cuts to like on the radio, and it just cuts to the like when you go like click on a thing, it's like, bro, turn the volume up. What this guy said is wild, and it's like a woman moaning, and it's supposed to be like you're watching.
porn mode.
They put
It's
that in the movie,
ridiculous.
which was really funny.
It was ridiculous.
That was perfect timing because like we were the only ones in the theater at that point, so we could like properly
Yeah.
laugh at it.
I do want to say one thing though. I do think there is tension in this movie, but I think it's
Yes.
like every single time there's tension, I do think it's like short-lived. I don't think they stretch it out too long, which I'm not upset about. But when the tension is there, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little stressed out. I'm a little
Right.
stressed out.
Like the tension you're talking about isn't really a result of any of the visual, because the visual is very like the visuals are not sloppy, but they're very
Handheld.
they're very loose and handheld, right?
Yeah.
So there's not it doesn't feel like it's precisely constructing this tension like as something like Nope would do, right?
Yeah.
I gave Mark, he wanted water, so I gave him a big thing.
I get so hard to drink out
So-
of
and I
it.
gave Danny a bowl. But in this movie, it felt like the tension was just out of the situations we found them in, and not a result of any, the camera augmenting any of that tension. So And honestly, like I talked about how I like the themes in this movie, or like the satire.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is a good movie because it did feel really long, and I felt a lot of it was just very, especially in the beginning, was very trivial.
I don't think it's a good movie. You know what it feels like? It feels like this.
The characters were too dumb to resonate emotionally with.
This movie feels like if you went to a film school and the professor says you're my best student, the school is giving you a grant of $20,000 to make a movie. This is the movie they'd make.
Really?
Because if you're going to a film school, it's already super political at school. It's already super whatever, and you're like, I have to have a message, but I have like F tier actors, and I have
the actors are good in this.
Hold on. I mean, I have my friend's dad's mansion. It's perfect. Like, this is exactly the kind of movie a film student would make if they just got their first budget.
This feels like what the film student in this movie would make. Here's what you're saying.
Which one was
the girl
that?
who's an actress?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about her.
Because the whole point is that they're all these privileged 20-somethings or whatever, and they all talk about how they're a victim, and they like, it's almost like a trend to be like poor, the most poor.
Sorry,
I think that's like that. I feel like that kind of falls. I mean, I'm getting way too in it. I'm getting like.
No, I like it, though.
Me saying that your criticism goes into like, no, that's the point. I'm not saying that, but like.
But I do like that about the movie, how it. Because I mean, like I know a lot of people say this, and I hate the thing where it's like, oh, you can't feel sad ever, you know, like, but no, you can. But even then, it's like all these rich kids in a house trying to say, I'm the least privileged. That's basically what it is.
They're all so narcissistic that they're completely incapable of feeling empathy for another person. Because every time something happens where it's like, oh, I have this mental illness, the other person's like, oh my God, I have this too. And they're like, dude, like.
And they move on from like very, very
It's almost like an
things,
American Psycho, where
like,
none of the characters can genuinely communicate with each other.
Yeah, we should probably go into ratings.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go. What's the rating scale?
Well, Danny, do your overall thoughts. I'll come.
Go ahead. Danny.
Oh, my overall thoughts. I mean, like I said before, he kind of changed my mind, but at the same time, I just, I was like laughing at it too much. I think there was too much going on in the movie theater too, but because we were the only ones. So I'd say like.
No, I didn't do a rating system, you idiot.
Okay.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
I'll bleep out his rating.
All right. So the rating system is simple but efficient. On a scale of bodies to bodies. What do you give it? So what do you give it, Danny?
How many bodies?
I can't take it anymore.
He's got to eat the Reese's.
No,
don't eat the Reese's. Don't eat the Reese's. Tell us your score on the bodies. Tell us how many bodies.
I'll give it a 5.6.
Bodies?
Bodies.
No, you have to say bodies.
Body.
Okay, good.
I don't even know if I did the all right, whatever.
Again, my overall thoughts on the movie. I think actually, for a 90-minute movie, it feels very long. And again, the characters are too dumb to, emotionally resonate with and actually put this over to a good movie, like towards a good movie, being a good movie for me. But I think the satire was done very, very well, and that's what I enjoyed from it most and took away with it the most, which I think is the most memorable. But I did like all the actors. I thought all the actors did very good. I'm not sure if this is the most crowd pleaser movie, because we were the only ones in there. But
that shot up all the way.
I'll say this. I'll give it a bodies.
Oh,
a
7, Johnny Cruz.
No.
That's 7. You just held up 7 fingers.
No, I had 6, and you went, oh, and then I went bod. I give it a 6.5.
6.5.
Wow.
That's still a lot for Johnny.
Yeah. Look, you don't have to be a math magician, but you have to know some math. It might help in your life.
So my overall thoughts is, well, I'm actually happy you said that about the way you reworked the movie. And I was like, I didn't pick up on that.
Mm.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But even then, I still think it's like a $20,000. It's not a $20,000 movie, but it's like a $20,000 movie a film student would make. I mean, like I feel like any of us could make this movie. I mean, like we have a lot of very talented friends. I feel like they could fit in as the actors and actresses for this. It'd be fine.
I love Mark because he's such a humble man.
What did I say about myself?
I feel like
just
we
then?
could make this movie.
yeah.
I was who out
like
of
we
here?
could.
Who's the
Okay, I
ones
think
that's
we
ever made
could.
a film? Who's the only 2 people in this room that ever had part in actually editing and filming a film?
I don't know.
You and
Hey.
Danny, you pieces of shit.
Hey.
What are you talking about? When did I do that?
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
he does.
I'm
I
just
think
I'm
it
just a,
builds
Shut the hell
tension
up.
way.
I'm just a lighting technician.
I think it builds tension well.
Yes.
It's the tension is good. It's not too much. It's not too little. I think
It's
it's
a mild
good.
tension.
But
Mild tension.
I'm definitely gonna forget about this movie in a week. Like I'm totally gonna like when it comes for us to rate all this. Like if we do a whole episode about the best screenshots episodes this year, I'm gonna forget we even watched this movie. I am. So I give it a bodies.
4.
I give it a 4.
Okay. Boom. So what do we got? We got a 4. We got a 5.6. No, I'm sorry. We have a bodies.
Oh, no, just fucking say
Bodies, and then all right, fine. And then a 6.5.
Good luck.
A 4, a 5.6, and a
Math
6.5. I'm a math magician. I've been really good lately. I'm gonna jumble it all up in my head.
This is a hard one.
I'm gonna. Oh, it is hard. It is difficult. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
Come on, Johnny.
I'm gonna say a 5. I'm gonna say a 5.5 out of 10. Boom. Copyright it.
Do you think 5 points is a good solid score for the whole movie?
That's an amalgamation of our scores.
That's like perfect.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that'd be pretty good. Cause it's
I
like,
thought it was an okay movie. It's not bad.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right, that's it, guys. You guys ready to go to spoilers?
that's it. Bye.
Spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the.
Boom! Explosive.
So bad.
So, basically, my spoiler, the stuff I couldn't talk about in non-spoilers, I'm going to talk about now with like all the satire and stuff like that. Have I mentioned the word satire?
Yes.
Just making sure I didn't want to be confusing or anything. But I think it does talk about basically at the end of the whole thing when you were talking about the movie went in like a certain direction, and I was like, I don't know. There was one point in the movie where I knew I was like, so nobody's the killer. They're all just killing each other. Because they got like 3 in, and I'm like, so wait, this doesn't make sense. If the whole thing, like I think it talks about how all the narcissism and the degeneracy, like amplified by the social media, is slowly making this generation kill themselves, basically, because they cannot have, genuine connection with each other because they all hate each other or whatever. And so I was like, if the theme is that they're all killing themselves, then obviously none of them have to be the killer. Whoever killed the first person, I don't know. It has to be something.
Oh wait, what point at what point did you notice that? You called it? You're saying you like called it?
Yeah, I caught it a little bit. It was like between like the 3rd and 4th person, or like the 3rd. I think it was when the girl got pushed down there. It was somewhere around there. But
That's what you were telling me before, yeah.
yeah. So, and I think this is like my whole little theory about it. Everyone except for Greg is a total piece of shit in this movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's the only one who does not have any drama with anybody. Every time he's physically confronted when he gets punched in the face, and he takes the shot and walks away. He does like the most proper thing ever. He deals with it like an adult, and he's like the only actual real adult there. And when he's accused and called out, he's the only one who doesn't react to make himself look like a victim. Everybody else does that. And then whenever their character is put under pressure and they try to call themselves victims by using the politically correct buzzwords I mentioned, and they talk about how, like, there's one point where they don't talk about guns, or they talk about how they don't like guns. He goes, what's his name? David might be a piece of shit, but his politics check out.
Yeah.
Which is basically saying one of the movie's themes out loud is they claim moral superiority by having this political ideology.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually pointing out their character, they're all immoral and they're all total pieces of shit, except for Greg, and he's the only one in the movie who doesn't talk about politics.
So it's kind of like virtue signaling the movie. It's like they're all
exactly.
yeah.
Well, it's showing the hypocrisy. The worst part about it is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It's not saying like everybody who uses those words is a piece of shit or whatever who has this political. I think it's a filmmaker pointing out, is criticizing her own ideology.
It's the people that only use those words or use those ideologies just to save themselves from criticism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Could have said it better myself. I don't know why I just went on for like 10 minutes about. Anyway, so yeah.
And that there's like a time and place for different types of things. Like, in the movie
Not you.
Oh, in the movie they kind of just like I said, like Pete Davidson's character is like dead.
Yeah.
Around outside, and they just
leave him there.
And they just leave him there, and then they go back inside, and they go off on another tangent. Like, nothing just happened. They just completely forget about it.
And they did give an excuse on why they didn't bring him in, though. They said evidence.
Evidence,
but,
but
like,
they're dumb.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, yeah, of course.
He's just sitting outside. Like, what if he was still just alive, and they just fucking left him out?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one scene that you mentioned were about Greg, where he's like the only guy that didn't get fucked up. Like, he's not like no drama. He just ended up getting killed. That scene where they all confronted him in the gym, I didn't think that was a good scene. Not only are they all absolute idiots, they're stupid, but I also feel like if Greg was a reasonable guy, like I understand the whole, like they built up this whole, oh, you guys fucking with me? Oh, you're playing a joke. Like, I understand they built that up so Greg would end up having that kind of response to them pointing knives at him. But I feel like if Greg was a normal person, he'd just sit on the ground and be like, okay, explain what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd
I
get
guess
up.
He did try,
They
but they
were
wouldn't
all
let him.
blood. They were all
Yeah,
like,
but-
bloody.
And the thing is, like, when in that situation, when I said he's the only one who acts properly, they confronted him with knives, and he was the one who was like, let's just put everything down, just calm down. And then he put down his weapon, and then the stupid idiot Jordan went and tried to tackle him. And then when he hurts her in self-defense, he goes, are you okay? And then the only other person who would be a good person in this movie is the Russian, the French girl, B, whatever her name is. But she murders a guy. She murdered him.
Yeah, that was weird.
she murdered him, but she also was like trying to protect the person that she likes.
But like based
slash
on like
loves, I guess.
what grounds? I mean, like he wasn't actively attacking anyone.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like a tense moment. I'm not defending
Right.
her. Like,
He didn't
But like
get-
kettlebell.
She
fuck.
smashed him
Yeah.
twice. Like the first time was enough, and then he like popped up and she smashed him again. So.
Yeah. First
Yeah.
she maimed him, and then she murdered him.
Mhm. But also like the fact that they all thought he was a military vet because she must have
Yeah.
said like vet.
So lucky I didn't. I was gonna put that in there.
Yeah, I bet. Scumbag. No, but they all said like they all thought he was like a military vet, but they probably just weren't listening enough when she said off screen when this conversation happened when they were talking. They probably weren't listening really to her talking. That's why they all thought he was a military vet instead of like a veterinarian.
Right.
Well,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And no one says vet and thinks. Well, I guess.
I'm a vet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless your name is Yvette, like my cousin.
Word.
but I wish it actually ended up being a murder mystery.
Really?
That's why I didn't like the ending.
Oh, you
Yeah,
wanted
the ending was weird when
You
she's like,
wanted-
I have reception. I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't get that part at all. Like he's looking at his dead son. I guess that's his.
No, that was Max. That was the brother.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, that was Max.
He's looking at his dead brother on the ground with a slit throat, and she just goes, "I have reception." I'd be like, "Bitch, what are you talking about? Why is he dead?"
How many writers were on this?
Two. That's my guess.
I'd like to know, like, because this isn't like I understand like there is some complexity to it if you really dig into it, but I'd like to like ask them if they tried to like make a satire, try to make like a huge conversation
Oh.
piece.
The main girl was Borat's daughter.
Borat's daughter. Yeah. I
Oh,
saw that.
really?
Yeah.
I thought she did amazing.
Yeah, I thought she was good. Her
really
character was just kind of.
Yeah, who before? I guess I can't really ask Johnny this. I maybe a little bit. Who did you think was the one the murderer?
I
Before
thought it was I can't remember any names, but the one who ended up with the gun.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Did you take your shot for gun, by the way?
I had a full shot, right?
I got you for
Oh,
gun.
okay.
I thought it was gonna be that Greg's girlfriend, only because she was super
Yeah.
annoying. But then as it went on, I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna like do like a 180, 360 kind of way, and they were gonna make it the girl with the blonde braids. I don't know what her name is.
Oh, the other I don't know her name.
I have no idea what her name is.
Emma? No.
No.
not no.
The
Yeah.
black one with the
With the
Braid-
blonde,
yeah.
the blonde braids. I thought it was gonna be her, because I was like, okay, like maybe they're gonna like go super like 360, like 180, whatever it is. Like, it would be 180, right? But no, it ended up just being.
Whoa! What
was-
the hell was that?
That was so weird.
Yeah, it just ended.
It ended up.
So
I think it was almost. I think the important thing of this movie is I thought Craig was the actual villain when they set it up.
But then,
Okay.
No, I
okay.
literally said right at the beginning, I was like, Greg's the bad guy. Because they were like,
Yeah.
you
Did,
could
we
see,
all-
like,
yeah.
such a
yeah,
bad-
well, the movie's he's the first person that the movie sets up to be the killer, which means that he's probably not the killer, and it turns out he's the only good guy.
Mhm.
But in the first like half of the movie, when I was like, okay, what did I say?
Killer.
Good one. So, but in the first half of the movie, where I was like, okay, who's murdering people? I was like, I was like, maybe it could be the brother, but that would kind of be like out of left field because we haven't seen him visually yet. So him being the
Yeah.
killer wouldn't have any weight to it.
I would have hated that.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this person was the original killer, but they've all killed people since then, so it doesn't matter now. Which is basically how it sort of was, but except it was an accidental suicide. But the whole point that I'm like, okay, the point of this is that they're all killing each other is what was played for comedic effect.
Yeah. Did you like that they were like social media obsessed?
Yeah, because that was
Like,
I
yeah,
understand that's part of it, but like
yeah.
that, like, 'cause I didn't think they don't have to add the social media thing to be like virtue signalers. They can just be
Right.
virtue signalers.
Well, the juxtaposition of like in the first shot where they're smooching for like a really long time, and then she's like, "I love you," and then it cuts to them just both texting in the car in a very unintimate manner. Like they're
Yeah.
both just having conversations that are completely separate from each other.
yeah.
I thought that was like, okay, so they're not living in a real kind of relationship.
I remember when I was in community college and I was doing like the screenshots class, fucking screenwriting class, and they would always say, don't use what did I do a word?
No.
Oh, they would always say like try not to include phones in your screenplays. But it's like the more and more movies we watch, because we're going more and more into the future, just phones are everywhere now.
Well, but one of the things this movie does right, which is a way to put phones in movies. I don't like phones in movies when it shows like text. Like Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies ever, but there's one scene where it shows text on a phone, which I don't like. But this movie, it shows texting, but it does not show text for exposition. You never see words on the phone. You only see them texting,
Gotcha. Yeah.
which I thought the movie did very
Or
well.
like when movies like do like bubbles. Like,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that either.
subtitles, basically.
It's like if you have a bunch of money to make a movie, you have to do it in a very nuanced way because, I don't want to. I don't go to the movie theater to watch somebody text.
quick, right now, come up with a nuanced way to do it. Now, go.
You also
What? To give that information.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
Do it visually.
You also like
I'm
see
playing.
them that like they get their phones taken away, and you see how like desperate they are. Right as the power goes out, their first thing they're trying to do is like use their phones, and they're like,
Right.
"Oh my god,
Well,
we
the
can't
only
use our phones."
The only
like,
thing they have to navigate life is the phone, which they use as a flashlight the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you?
Put that in quotes. Zoom in on my face and make me look like I'm on Mount Rushmore, and put that in quotes because that was the smartest thing I've ever said.
Fuck off. Such
See,
a piece of shit.
Look, I like seeing movies with you guys because it reminds me how much of a great thinker I am. And
yeah, okay. Take a shot.
Take that fucking shot.
Take another shot.
What happened to what was the excuse about the car?
Oh, she said that she left the light on or something in the. Is that what you're
I'm not
saying?
sure. Yeah, no, yeah.
Or-
Why?
or
Why?
like
Why
the
didn't it
car
work?
wouldn't
she was
start?
looking at.
You said car. But no, that is a real
You
question.
said
though.
car right before I said car.
Yeah, but it's
though.
my word, dummy. What was the actual reason why it wouldn't work?
Because she was looking at herself in the thing there, in the reflection, and she left it on. She didn't close that flap.
Gotcha. But if there was a murderer in a house that I was staying at, I don't care what country or state I'm in, I'm walking to the nearest police station, no matter how long it takes. I walk.
What if the murderer's on the road that you have to
I will
take?
walk 20
What
miles.
if the murderer is the police mark? Did you ever think of that? Because
Yeah.
they are murderers.
Yeah,
That's
what
the
are you
only
gonna
clip
do when
I'm
you
putting
have
in.
nowhere
No,
to
That's
go?
the
no.
only clip I'm putting on Instagram.
No, the police
That.
are great. Don't worry about them.
Okay, well,
Wait a second.
cautious, you know,
They've never done anything
That's
wrong.
that's the only thing I'm putting on the Instagram.
it's an up in the air thing. We're not. We're talking about a movie here, boys.
Up
Come
in
on.
the air. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't know if that's an appropriate
Mark,
way to
this
put
isn't
it.
this isn't time for one of your video political essays. okay?
I'm not trying to go viral.
I'm not trying to go viral.
I'm so sorry.
You guys are the worst friends I've ever had in my entire
Hey,
life.
Come
whoa,
on, we're happy for you. You
whoa.
got 400,000 big ones.
400,000 beans, baby.
400,000 big. What are you talking? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Big ones. Likes, views. I don't know.
Moving on.
More views than probably this movie will get.
Nah, it's
Bodies,
not true.
bodies, bodies.
What are you
Not
talking
true.
about? Go out and buy these tickets for this movie, baby. Because
Would you recommend people to go see this movie?
If you want to.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea what it was about before. Like, I didn't know it was called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies as I sat down in the seat.
Really?
I wasn't expecting. I didn't know you
You
were gonna be
probably
there.
told me, but I just was like not paying attention.
Yeah. It's a what do you call
Who's
it?
your favorite character?
Greg. Because he's the only
Oh,
he's
boo.
because he's the only straight white male.
Boo.
Nah, he's good though. He's the only good guy. He's the only good guy.
Yeah, but he's like the
in
least.
terms of like performance wise, I like Jordan's performance a lot. I
like
thought she
the
was
French
funny.
girl. I thought it was crazy.
Is she
that
French
Pete
or Russian?
Davidson- Oh, probably one or the other. I don't know.
I was hoping that Pete Davidson's brother would be like his twin. Because that's why he's in love with her. Is because that's why he's in love with Alice or whatever. Because he looks exactly like her. So he's like, "Why don't you love me?" or whatever. I thought that would have been funny if he comes back and it's just like another guy who looks like Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
So it was played exactly by Pete.
And
Davidson.
he has like a black eye. He's just like I look like he looks like he's about to die.
Yeah.
Like Pete Davidson does.
Yeah.
How does he
that's-
do it?
That's what, like, we didn't know when we sat down in the movie that his, like, I guess before we found out that he got punched in the face, we thought that was, like, I don't see Pete Davidson enough to be like, oh, that's not what he
Yeah.
looks like.
If
I
you
was
don't-
like,
if you
why
don't-
does he look like he's about to die?
If you don't know what Pete Davidson looks like, this is a good indication of what he looks like. We saw him with like a black eye, and we said, "Oh, that's just what he looks like." That's probably
we
what he
didn't
looks like
know
in
that
real
Have you
life.
ever seen him actually shirtless? Because he's covered in tattoos. They
Yeah,
had to put
the
so,
in the King of Staten Island.
they had to put so much
Yeah,
makeup on him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going through, like, a tattoo removal thing. That's what I heard.
No.
No,
well,
what do you mean? He's going through a
maybe.
tattoo
He's a comedian.
addition
He doesn't
on.
have to.
Like, he has tattoos every. He got a tattoo
Shut
of
the damn hell up.
of Kim Kardashian's kids. I think and then they broke up like a month later.
That is fun.
Classic.
I couldn't take him seriously at all in the movie because he's Pete Davidson.
Well,
I
I'm
could
not-
not take him seriously.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to. I think he's a funny.
No.
character.
I wasn't watching a movie. I was watching Pete Davidson.
Oh.
And I was like, I saw,
it's
I saw him acting. I didn't see his character. I saw Pete Davidson acting.
Mhm. Yeah, I still think he did good in the scenes that he was in, though. I mean, I'm not a fucking actor. I can't tell.
Stop playing footsie with me, gay guy. All right.
Fucking
Hey,
fucking up the wire.
yo.
Johnny is unhinged. Johnny is unhinged.
I've had
Yo.
3 shots. Leave me alone.
Yeah. What's
I've never
were they
even heard
using?
you
They were
say
using.
that before.
Were they using Instagram Reels for the
Instagram or TikTok, one of the others. No, that's not. That
TikTok.
doesn't involve the movie though. You can't do that.
TikTok? Take your fucking
that
shot,
does-
dude.
that-
Take
That
your.
does involve
They don't say TikTok in the
They
movie.
were doing TikToks, pal.
You gotta take that fucking
They
shot.
were
put it on
doing
my
the
tab.
TikToks.
No.
and then-
No.
All right, well, why don't I just go kill a family of 4? I'll become a murderer like in the movie. I'll go kill somebody.
Go ahead.
I'll go drive drunk.
and then you'll be at the accident like, I don't know who did that guy.
I don't know what was that, guys.
Guys, what?
I don't know what was that.
You're like stumbling around.
I'm like stumbling drunk. So I have the steering wheel in my hand.
Who's the murderer? Which one are you?
I still have it at the 10 and 2 position. And they're like, call an ambulance. And I'm like, I don't know what was that. My phone got destroyed. Can I?
Oh man.
You owe me a new phone.
Do you have any Xanax?
any
I'm
Xanax?
freaking out right
I don't have
now.
any perception. Can you buy me a new phone? It's kind of your fault. Like as they're dying. You are so toxic because I'm gonna have PTSD from murdering you.
Danny's fucking laugh, bro.
Oh shit.
I have to go to therapy for months for PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I know your pain because one time I fell and scraped my knee in baseball, so I know what you're going through right now.
I'm lightheaded.
It's like, imagine that being the last thing you hear.
Just some idiot.
I think another good word to describe this movie is
Holy shit, we're at 40.
overwhelming tolerance.
Overwhelming-
Jesus Christ, Danny.
Overwhelming tolerance?
Yeah, are you okay?
Danny has an underwhelming tolerance for sucking in
It
air.
went down the wrong side.
It
What,
went down the other
oxygen?
side.
No, like they all hate each other, yet they try to tolerate each other with.
Well, it's like, dude, it's like a, I don't know. There's that weird politics that a lot of especially with everyone cool kids in school. Like, there's a weird politics among the cool kids where they're not genuinely friends. Like, they all hate each other, but they're friends for some reason still.
Yeah,
it's weird.
They're tolerating each
It's
other.
a fabricated relationship.
So I think it's overwhelming tolerance.
Should we go to movie recommendation?
Is there anything else?
No, there's
Did
nothing
you take your
else.
shot for TikTok?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna put it on my tab. Unless you want me to stay here.
You know what
longer.
that means on the next show, whatever it is, you can't use the tab.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Don't worry about
Oh, you're fucked. Go ahead.
it. Okay. Well,
Let's
it's
do-
Lord of the Rings. I'll get hammered for that because that's the only way I can get through that fucking podcast. I don't want to.
Oh, he
give a
has
shit
to
about
do a Lord of the Rings.
We're doing the
podcast?
Amazon TV show.
Anyway, my movie recommendation.
Are
Why am
you
I on Jurassic?
kidding?
Why am I on the Jurassic World website?
My video game recommendation is Among Us.
Among Us.
Yeah.
My movie recommendation. I have two. Murder on the Orient Express, the original that was directed by Sidney Lumet, 1974, 2 hours and 8 minutes. In December 1935, when his transcontinental luxury train is stranded by deep snow, Detective Hercule Poirot is called on to solve a murder that occurred in his car the night before with a multitude of suspects. Mark has a knife. He's the killer.
He's the killer.
He's the killer!
Throw something at his head.
Throw the Reese's at him!
No way.
Anyway, so that's a good movie. You should go watch it. And also Knives Out. Watch Knives Out. You know what Knives Out is.
Everyone knows Knives Out.
I'm getting a little tipsy, so a little off the edge here.
When's the
But-
next one come out? Knives Out.
This year. No, I don't know. But it's called, guess what you know it's called?
The Onion
Gl-
or something. That's what
It's
I
called
heard.
The Onion or something.
That's what I heard.
Are you ready for the here? I'm Ryan Johnson. I'm very excited to announce my sequel to Knives Out called The Onion or something. A Knives Out mystery. A Benoit Blanc.
Another recommendation is Borat 2 because
Borat 2 because Maria Bakalakavagu.
Baklava.
Baklava.
Get it right.
Yes,
come on.
sorry. I was doing my impression of Mark, which is why I sounded bigoted and racist.
Racist.
Oh,
Racist.
You got me. Oh, I gotta take a full shot on the next podcast. That's
Fuck you.
That's a problem for future, John. I'm sure glad I'm not that guy.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, me too.
I have to fart really bad. All right, want to end this bullshit?
Yeah, it's on this bullshit. Word reveal. Gun, TikTok, kill, car, racist.
I had my words like out and about like this entire time.
Satire, Among Us, meta, dialogue, weird guy.
Changed my mind. Satire, girl, guy, and woke. You guys said girl, guy like 74 times.
Yeah.
You're a fucking piece of shit. Still had really nothing to do with the movie.
Girl,
I mean,
guy. There's a guy in it.
It does, but it's so vague. You're such a loser. All right.
All right. What do you think? What do you think, Mark? A 40-minute podcast we got here?
Yeah.
Most of it's just us drunkenly rambling. We spent a long time in the car crash thing.
Well,
That's my favorite.
we
part.
will see you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
What's the next one? Tell me what the next one
Well,
is.
you're not going to be involved in the next
Why?
one because it's going to be a D&D thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to.
And we're doing a D&D episode in celebration of Lord of the Rings. And then we're watching the Amazon Lord of the Rings episode, and then we're going to talk about that.
I'll be on the Lord of the Rings thing, so you can tune back in for that one.
And then, after, I don't know what's coming out in September. Oh, there's this one movie I want to watch called The Barbarian. It's a horror movie. Looks
Yeah?
pretty cool. It's
Okay.
got Bill Skarsgård in it.
I know how that is.
So that looks pretty good. But I don't really know. I think that's about it.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.